making ethical choices with how we spend our money. And I thought I'd talk to you a little bit about that today, because that's something I've been trying to do more and more for 10 years now. And the more you get into it, the more you realise actually can get a bit complicated. You know, you're in Tesco's and you're trying to buy bananas, and one of them, you've got a packet of fair trade ones that's in a plastic bag, or you've got a bunch that are not fair trade but they're not in plastic. So do you choose people being paid a fair wage, or do you choose the environment? And it can drive you a bit nuts and make you want to throw the whole thing off altogether. And so to dissuade you from doing that, I thought I'd share with you something that I find helpful, and it's based on Theodore Roosevelt's quote. Is it Theodore Roosevelt or is it Mother Teresa? It's somebody very clever, and it says, do what you can with what you have where you are. So firstly, do what you can. Basically, do your best, but don't feel guilty if you've got limitations preventing you from making the most 100% perfect ethical choices in the world. So I'm married to a vegetarian, and he has made that choice because of the environment, trying to eat less meat for that reason, and I would like to do that too. But I'm severely anemic, which means I have to eat iron, and I have to eat a lot of it from red meat because I've got food intolerances and I can't eat a lot of other stuff. So at the moment I can't be a vegetarian. I just can't, or I will collapse and die. So but I can be more vegetarian than I was. I can eat less meat, like chicken. I can eat less dairy products, and I can eat more vegetarian meals. I don't have to eat red meat every single day. So that's what I can do within those limitations. So do what you can means really do what you can. Do try your best. It's not a get out of jail free card, but also acknowledge those limits and just do your best within that. So let's do what you can with what you have. I'm just realising more and more that money is a privilege, and it gives you the privilege of choice. And so if you have money, and I think if a lot of us are honest, we do often have more money to spend on more ethical things than we admit to. If you're a single mum trying to feed and clothe your kids and you need to shop in Primark, no judgment from me, but a lot of us, we do have, say, 50 quid to spend on clothes, and we often make the decision, well, I'd rather get 10 dresses in Primark than just only get one dress from an ethical website. But we have the money, with what we have, we're not doing our best with what we have. So I would strongly encourage you to do the best with what you have. What you have is also time. You know, how much time are you spending really looking into all these different ethical practices? And if you don't have a lot of time, there's still, you could ask a friend who you trust is already looking into these things. I'm sure there's lots of people here at Maybridge that have already started this journey. Maybe people could comment with their tips down below. There's the Good On You app, which is great for clothes. It ranks all the different high street shops and gives them like a little ranking, so you can decide amongst those where you'd prefer to shop. So do what you can with what you have. And then finally, where you are. Where you are could mean where your heart is, or where you are geographically. Because it's hard to make these decisions. Sometimes it's hard to choose between one thing or another, and maybe you need to really think about your priorities and what you feel God is particularly calling you to. I feel my heart is really for Calcutta and India, and so I often try and do the best thing that I know will help, or in some way, people living there. You might feel where you are locally is where you're called to, so maybe you try and support local businesses. Maybe that's the thing that you feel drawn to. Where you are could also mean where you are in your life, because the choices that were right and good for you to make in your 20s might not be the same as in your 50s or your 80s. I've just mentioned that at the moment I'm quite anemic, so I can't eat red meat, but maybe one day I could go full vegetarian. Or you might be trying to travel less, although we're all travelling less at the moment, but you've got kids that are growing up and living in Australia and you need to go and see them. You have to do the best thing where you are currently in your life. And finally, where you are mentally and emotionally, because it's all well and good to try and make these choices, and I really think we do need to, but also if it is all you can do, and for some of us at the moment that's a real possibility, if it's all you can do to just get out of bed and drag yourself to the supermarket instead of going around shopping in all the different local shops and making sure you get all the best plastic free and blah blah blah, if you really can only manage that, then just do what you can where you are right now mentally, and tomorrow is another day and you'll pick it up then. So do what you can with what you have where you are, and let's try and just do our best. Hope that helped. Have a good day.